چمن زمنه.
Thank you so much for having me, Mari.
No problem. I'm going to go straight to the questions, and I wrote a few, so we're going to ask. Your journey back to acting is inspiring, Amber. Can you share more about what led you to rediscover your passion for performing after your time at the University of Pennsylvania?
Absolutely, I can. And again, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Oh my God, so sweet of you. And yes, absolutely, I can. So when I was in college, I was very passionate about advocacy, activism, political science, especially in Afghanistan and in the South Asian region, overall Middle East and South Asia. And that's what I was pursuing. I was pursuing political science with a concentration in international relations. The plan was to go to law school. I was very passionate about it, but I felt like there was a little piece of me missing, and I didn't know where I could put that creative side of me. And I didn't know what I would do with that. And COVID gave me an opportunity to really self-reflect. So I think that a lot of people have that opportunity, whether it was through loss and tragedy or whether it was through spending a lot of time on your own. And so when I came back home from college, I was living with my family and I was in California, and I decided, I'm in the place to be for acting classes for this industry. And I loved acting when I was younger. It was where I felt safe and where I felt like I could be creative. So why not give it another go? When things were opening back up at the tail end of the pandemic, I enrolled in an acting class, and I loved it, and I just found like an instant connection to it. I was drawn back to it because that idea of being able to play different characters and kind of break some of the habits that we have in order to form new ones for each individual character, that was fascinating to me. So I
Absolutely.
decided to go back to acting class. And after that, things happened really quickly. I was connected with a manager, and then this was my first audition, and I booked this one, and it felt like the stars aligned on this project because it connected my passion for the region, for advocacy, for my culture, with my passion for acting. So it just
How courageous, how courageous. Because I'm an Afghan mother, and
oh,
acting and music, no. And then we say, become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. I have a daughter that's an engineer, but
oh, mama.
she's also a musician. So bravo and نام خدا and mashallah که شما سپورت فامیلتان داشتین و تانستین که نام خدا زیبا بدرخشین.
تشکر بسیار زیاد.
تشکر از جوابتان. What drew you to the story of Rule Breakers and the character of Ism? Did you feel a personal connection to the film's theme of courage and perseverance?
I was drawn to this project because this was the first project that I had seen about a film that was on Afghanistan. It wasn't centered around war. It wasn't centered around oppression. It was centered around light and hope and something really courageous that women were doing from the region. Oftentimes in Western media, Afghan women are seen as kind of voiceless and faceless, and they don't have these large roles. This was the first time that a film was centered around that. This film also had the support and backing of Roya Mahbub, so the real woman that this movie is based off of, and her sister Alaha Mahbub. So when I saw their involvement in the project as well, I knew that authenticity was going to be a huge focus of it. And that was very important to me, to portray Afghanistan in a more vibrant light, what I feel is a more true light than what we often see in Western media. So that really drew me to the story. And Esin, who is the character that I play, she is incredible. Her story arc of finding her voice is really what allowed me to connect with her. I mean, like you said, I was shy when I was younger, and that's why my parents threw me into acting classes. And that's how I found my voice. So it was great to be able to play a character where I got to rediscover that part of myself and nurture that inner child of me and bring that story arc of finding your voice to life. It was yes.
That is inspiring. Wonderful. How did you prepare for the role of Essen, especially given the cultural and societal challenges that the Afghan girl robotic team faced? Like you grew up here, they grew up there. How could you make it so easy to just be her?
Yeah,
I
know.
can't wait to watch the movie. Cannot wait.
I'm so excited for you to see it, Bakhair. And there's that idea of how
See, I'm wearing my Afghan flag.
I saw, and you have to see the girls. دخترام, they have an Afghan scarf too that they wear. It's
Vale,
Afghan colors. They wear it at their competitions, and that was really what they wore. They were
vale,
proud of their culture and where they came from. And
vale.
so, like Boyot Bibinain Bakhair, I'm so excited for you to see it. Um, but yeah, so there was a part of me that was like, how could I even begin to understand where these girls are coming from? Because they have gone through so many trials and tribulations. But because it's based off a true story, there are so many articles, videos, TED Talks, and even a documentary that's out on the girls. So first it was consuming a lot of content to understand what the girls' strifes were, where they came from, their backgrounds, what family expectations they had, and understanding how many challenges Roya had to get this team started. And I think
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so many challenges.
I
Yeah.
was reading news whenever she was doing this stuff. I was reading the news like, how brave.
How brave,
This
how
shows you the resilience of Afghan women.
exactly. And so that's why I'm so grateful the story is being told, because I had heard about it too when it was in the news. And it was when the story came along, it was like, finally, someone's telling a story about one of the most courageous people, that's coming from our region, was able to do so much. But consuming a lot of content, I actually met with Roya and Alaha in New York prior to filming
Wonderful.
to
Wonderful.
talk with
Okay.
them. And Roya and Alaha both are, they are so beautiful, so talented, so smart, and so passionate about what they do. And you really feel that coming from them. So I was grateful to have a chance to talk with them. And lastly, I think it was a lot of conversations with family members who came later to America from Afghanistan, family members who came when they were young from Afghanistan. So hearing all of the different stories that they had.
It helped you bridge the gap.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Wonderful. What was it like working alongside such a talented cast, including Phoebe Waller, Bridge, Nicole, and Ali Fazil? Did they influence or inspire your performance in any way or shape or form?
Absolutely. Nicole Boucheri, she's done a project on, it was called Circumstance, and it was a very intense and somewhat controversial project. And she had faced a lot of different aspects about trying to understand the culture, filming abroad, her first project, filming abroad. So her experiences were really enlightening, and she shared a lot of information on how it goes, on a set. So that was very helpful. And she gives such a strong performance. So I feel like when you have such talented actors, it just kind of lifts everyone's performance up. Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Ali Fazal, they are so charming, so chill, and they have such a just down to earth characteristic about them. I was especially grateful to have that scene with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, where you'll see it, but Nina, who plays Tara, and myself, who play Essen, we're talking with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and it's a very intimate scene. It's absolutely beautiful to be able to connect with someone who's so effortlessly funny and just makes you feel comfortable in your own skin on set.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. یک سوال میخواستم از شما کنم روی است که کدام was there a specific moment دمی فیلم که بر شما گفته که it kind of stood out?
Yeah.
Is there a specific moment where you said, wow, this is breathtaking, this is amazing, or the other way around?
No, yeah. I mean, there were so many special moments on this film. I just want to say, like, first off, just having a project that focused so much on authenticity, so many women on the cast and crew. So we had a very women-centered project, and just really open. We were able to be so creative and talk with the director openly, Bill, he's incredible, talk with the producer, Samudrika, openly. That was an incredible thing to have on set. But the moment that I think really stood out to me was there's a scene in the film, and I don't want to give too much away, but
Yes, not gonna
character
spoiler alert.
my character has this moment of courage, and she's very scared to go through with what she has to go through, but the girls are there cheering her on. And when I was doing that, and I was looking at the girls' faces and Nicole's face and Nureen's face and all of the actors who were playing their characters, but for me it was like, because it was my first project, so it just felt like life imitating art, where I myself was very worried about saying my lines and performing this scene, and they were also supportive. And in the film, their characters are supporting Essen, and it just shows how valuable and important it is for women to support other women and for men to also support women.
What a beautiful message. What a beautiful message. Lately, we don't see that on social media. We see women tearing each other and not respecting boundaries and holding grudges. And when you see on a true story that women can accomplish so much by supporting each other, it's truly inspiring.
Yeah, we have to connect with one another. And it
Absolutely.
also shows how important it is for girls to find their voice, which I truly believe
Yes.
every girl needs to be feeling empowered to talk about the thoughts that they have, to share the brain that they have, and to go out into the world being themselves. So that was it spoke volumes, that scene for me.
Wonderful. Can't wait to watch it. The film addresses important themes like education, innovation, and women's rights. What message do you hope audiences take away from Rule Breakers?
First off, I hope everyone knows that آموزش حق هر دختر است. Like, I hope everyone can see that education is a girl's right, no matter.
Because the gahwara tagor danish bejoy.
Oh, like it's just every girl, no matter where you're born, no matter where you're from, no matter what your culture, you deserve to have an education and have that access for yourself to having an education. I hope also audiences look at the film and feel that they are inspired to be able to pursue their passion, and hopefully it'll lead to a STEM career. That would be great to have more women
That
in
would be amazing.
I
That
know.
would be
And
wonderful.
I hope we have more movies that are about Afghan stories with Afghan actors, about Afghanistan empowerment and hope and light instead of what we normally see. So much more color in this film than what we normally see.
Yes.
This was something that we talked about with the other cast members, Nina, Sarah, and I had talked about this. A lot of people, when they think of Afghanistan, they have grown up, especially in my generation and generations that are 1 year or one above or one below me, they grew up thinking of Afghanistan as this war-torn, dark, very dismal place.
Because that's decades of war did that, and that's not the true face of Afghanistan.
Not at all. And I'm hoping that, and this is something that one of our cast members, Nina, had said. She said that there is going to be a whole new generation that watches this movie, and this might be their first impression of Afghanistan instead of what we grew up with. And that would be incredible for people to know Afghanistan the way that we know Afghanistan, to be colorful, to be so kind, with so much hospitality, and
So
to
much
have
hospitality, and our food is so good.
there's a whole scene with food, so you'll have to see it.
After I have another show, I will have you on my show for food.
Oh my God, Bakhair, I'd love to be on a show about food.
الفيلم در مراکش یا موراکو، در بوداپست هنگری و همچنان در هیوستن تگزاس فیلم برداری شده و چه زیباست که شما سفر کردین و جاها رو دیدین و همراه دخترای رو بعد تیم معرفی شدین. کدوم چانس گرفتین که آریانا سعید رو ببینین؟
Ariana Saeed directly nadidem. So we didn't have her on set with us, unfortunately, but I have met her twice because she performed at weddings. So I've met her twice. یک دفعه I met her دیدم شده یک عرسی دیگه بعد از filming, like بعد از این فیلم که پر شده، بعد از اونمو خواندن که ثبت کرده برام.
چه خوب خواندن مقبول کردن.
بسیار مقبول. اقا خوشم
و شما اما یک بهترین خواننده رو پیدا کردین که موافق از به تیم فیلم. It matches, it goes hand in hand. So
actually when we were filming, the director asked me because ما افغان هستم
میفهمین که نرمدارم میشناسید
مر پرسان کده کدام خواندن میخوای the film باشه, like do you have any recommendations for music that could be good in the film? And I said, for the time period, because it's 2017, Ariana Saeed had a lot of songs out at that time, so she'd be great. She's still relevant. People love her. She's like a pop icon. In زیاد دخترها the cinema Afghanistan, they listen to Ariana Saeed. So that would be beautiful to have her music. And then it just crazy because I didn't expect her to actually write and make a song for us. And now there's a song, an original song by her.
خدا بسیار با استعداد هستن و ما شخصا افتخار میکنم با وجود هر زن، مخصوصا زن افغان، که چقدر talented هستن. نام خدا در هر they're involved in every area. There are doctors, engineers, actresses, musicians, writers, producers, and this is incredible for our Afghanistan, for our culture, for our heritage, and overall for the girls that live here and they didn't get a taste of Afghanistan. So, any other thing you would like to add to this conversation?
No, you interviewed so beautifully. تانا میخوایم بگویم در من میخوایم که کلگی برن اینمی فیلم سعی کنن اگر زیادتر افغانا زیادتر نفرا برن اینمی فیلم سعی کنن در theaters باز نشان میده بر استودیوها در زیادتر فیلم میتو باید بسازن که بازیگر افغان که افغان قصه اصلی از افغانستان قصه بسیار از باره زنان که جرأتدار هستند که بسیار قوی لایق هستند. I would love for everyone to go watch this movie to show to the world that we need more films like this with people from the region authentically playing.
Wonderful, wonderful. This film is, correct me if I'm wrong, this film is today airing in theaters. And thank you for Angel Studios for making this opportunity available for Radio Azad and myself. And thank you to our director of Radio Azad, Aisha Shafi, for allowing me to have this incredible opportunity to speak with you, to have you as a host. And with that said, بسیار آرزو دارم که بهترین ها را بر شما بر شما آرزو دارم. امیدوار هستم که این فیلم اینقدر مشهور شود که post office box is gonna explode.
I hope. آرزوی ما است. تشکر بسیار زیاد. تشکر که
و انشالله حتما کار میشه. امید از این که یک روزی فیلم در دالاس اسکرین کنیم و شما بیاین و شما رو بخیر ببینیم.
بخیر ممنون شما بخیر.
بله یک جهان سپاس شکران از اینکه دعوت ما را قبول کردین و به برنامه سرچمن زمان مهمان بودین. تشکر با امید از اینکه باز ببینیم. یار زنده و صحبت باقی. تشکرم بر عزیز.
تشکر نوری جان. تشکر.
دوستان عزیز و شنونده های نهایت معزز برنامه سرچمن زمان، این بود مصاحبه ما، گفته شنود ما با امبر دختر نازنین که بخیر در فیلم بسیار مقبول می درخشن و شما حتما باید از امشب برین و فیلم ببینید. بازم تشکر امبر جان. خدا حافظ شما.
خدا حافظ. تشکر.